My dad wanted to make sure that it stayed in the family, that quarter, mainly because at the top of this hill is the family cemetery where Johann and Groa were buried. My great-grandfather, Johann Jonsson, he was a widower with 2 daughters who came from Iceland in 1881. In northern Iceland, there had been volcanoes and the ash covered everything. They were starving, absolutely starving, and a lot of them came over. I know a lot of people know about all the Icelanders that went to Gimli, but the name Baldur is the god of beauty in Iceland. They would have just come because they needed a place. This is a picture that shows from the property for the 2 quarters. He homesteaded right there, and then he had 3 sons. Johann remained on that one, and Tryggvi had this one here, and he was my grandfather. And then behind the hill here was where Kari Jonsson, because he had this quarter. And my dad was born in 1928, and that's my dad with his dog and his sister. In this one, he looks about 15, because he was home. His brothers all went to war, and he was the one that stayed and looked after his parents and the farm. I can remember as a little kid, my dad just talking about how so much of the land was still the same as when his grandfather had come over. I live in Killarney now, and I go back home to Baldur, and there's a lot of landscape that's really changed. And a lot of it gets, you know, they want a few more acres, and the sloughs get drained and all the rest of it. And then it changes that whole ecosystem. We muck in there, and then that one can't grow because that doesn't happen anymore, and this doesn't happen. My youngest son, he got his PhD in conservation biology, and he always says that his avi, that's Icelandic for grandpa, his avi was his inspiration, because he would come over and would just talk about all the things that he saw and all the rest of it. And that was just normal to us. My son, he's very pleased that we still have that property and that it's there, and he could come and visit it. Sometimes I wish I was a time traveler and could just zoom back and sort of be there.